This season marked the fifth year in a row the Nationals have finished last in the AL East with a near 100-loss season. The Nationals have some young talent to be excited about. They have three pending free agents who we will all let walk in free agency. The starting pitching was atrocious last season, and Mackenzie Gore was really the only bright spot in the rotation. Gore had a great start to last season, but started to struggle in the second half. He still posted a 4.17 ERA, which isn't great but not horrible, being around league average. One positive is he strikes out a lot of batters. The Nationals will be getting Josiah Gray back, who missed nearly all of 2024 and all of 2025 because of Tommy John surgery. He was an All-Star in 2023 and posted a 3.1 WAR with a 3.91 ERA. The next spot will go to former top prospect Cade Cavalli, who limits hard contacts and gets a lot of chase despite a low strikeout rate. The next spot will go to Andrew Alvarez, who got called up at the end of last season and pitched well through 5 starts. And then for the last spot, we'll look towards free agency, signing Aaron Civale to fill the last spot. The rotation most likely won't be very good, but most of them are relatively young with upside. The Nationals' bullpen might have been even worse than their starting pitching, which says a lot. The bullpen had a league-worst ERA, WHIP, and walk rate, with hits and homers per nine being bottom three. One of the few bright spots was closer Jose Ferrer. His stats don't look great, but he's only 25 and showed a lot of promise. He throws pretty hard while barely walking anyone, and is one of the highest ground ball rates avoiding barrels. Ferrer should be able to develop into a pretty solid closer for 2026. One of the other high leverage guys in the bullpen will be Clayton Beeter, who they got from the Yankees in the Ahmed Rosario trade. They immediately inserted him into the bullpen despite him only having 7 MLB innings prior to coming over, and he became one of, if not the best, Nationals reliever last year. PJ Pullen and Cole Henry get the next 2 spots. They weren't amazing, but they're well enough to solidify spots for next year in the bullpen. The next spot goes to Brad Lord, who the Nationals tried out as a starter towards the end of last season, which didn't really work out. As a reliever, his OPS against was 604 compared to 784 as a starter, suggesting he's a better fit to come out of the bullpen. The next 2 spots will come from free agency, with one being Alexis Diaz. Diaz was really good his first 2 years with the Reds, but started to struggle in 2024 and was eventually DFA'd in 2025 by Cincinnati after a horrid start. And he also got short stints with Dodgers and Braves, too. The next free agent Washington will sign is Ryan Borucki. Borucki is a ground ball pitcher who had a rough year with the Pirates before being DFA'd. He was elite against lefties, though, with them hitting 117 with an OPS of 379 through 60 at-bats last year. The last spot will go to Orlando Ribalta, who struggled in a 24-inning sample size, but did a good job of limiting hard contact, and that rounds out the bullpen. Moving on to the lineup, catcher is a weak spot for the Nationals, where it'll be between Keibert Ruiz and Riley Adams, who both have a sub-600 OPS. I have the Nationals going with Riley Adams as the opening day starter, Ruiz as the backup. I have the Nationals looking to free agency to replace Josh Bell at first by signing Ty France. Moving over to second will be Luis Garcia, who had a down year last year, but is still only 25 and still did alright defensively. And then on to the other side of the infield at short is CJ Abrams, who's one of the key pieces for the Nationals rebuild. At third is Brady House, who was the Nationals' number 3 prospect entering last season, who was pretty terrible offensively but is only 22, and the Nationals just need to let the young guys play. Moving to the outfield and left is former number 2 draft pick Dylan Cruz, who has been pretty disappointing offensively so far. The center field battle is between Jacob Young and another former top prospect from the Soto trade, Robert Hassel. Both at a sub-600 OPS, but because of defense, Young will start. But they pretty much will split since Hassel is young and needs more playing time. And then moving over to right is another former top prospect, Dalen Lyle, who really heated up the second half of the season and was batting nearly 400 with a 1200 OPS in September, which locked up his starting spot for next year. And then at DH is franchise cornerstone James Wood. Wood was unreal to start the first half of the season, but cooled off the second half and also led the league in strikeouts. But he still hits over 250 and is the future of Washington and could be a 40 homer a year guy. The last two bench spots will go to young infielders Nasim Nunez and Jose Tena. The Nationals still have a lot of room for growth, but have a lot of young talent. And if some of the young guys can take that step to the next level, this team could be quietly pretty good in 2026.